Hey everyone, just Huss here. I'm just wondering, I'm new to this. I didn't know what to do on YouTube, and I just thought, hey, I wanted to start on just make a video, my first channel, on my, just on a random channel, and just kind of see what happens. So the topic I wanted to talk about is purpose, your purpose in life. See, I started out, you know, doing music. And I thought music was the thing I would do. Yeah, sure, music is what I want to do. And then shortly after, I decided, you know what? Maybe I won't do music. Because then after, I was trying to be a vocal teacher. I'd done a 2 year degree, and then I thought, okay, I'll just be a vocal teacher. Then I realized how hard it was to actually find a job as a vocal teacher. And I slowly started to realize that, hey, I wasn't qualified and I needed to get different qualifications. But then I just thought, maybe I'm just scared. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I don't want to do this. Maybe I'm not cut up for it. So then I started to feel like, okay, you know what? Let's go. Let's give sales a try. So there was this fundraising role. So I decided, you know what? I think sales is super important. I might as well try it. Don't mind the cough. I was sick about a week ago, and just a couple of days ago I've gotten over it, but still some of the symptoms are still there, like the cough. Trust me, it was the worst cough before that, but now it's better. Anyways, so now I've decided to do sales, and when I've done sales, it was a fundraising role, and the turnover rate was super high in this role. I got through the interviews. The interviews were literally challenges instead of other interviews. This interview was literally, um, the manager talks about the idea of the job, the role, what you do on a day-to-day basis, and then during the interview, we'd go out to the nearest shopping center, and we'd actually do the paperclip challenge, where they'd give us a paperclip, and we'd have to exchange items of equal or greater value, and whoever ends up with the highest valued item wins. And so, long story short, there was four of us, I think four or five, and we all go out to the shopping center. And out of everyone there, one person ends up with like a pen, another person ends up with like a Kit Kat bar, or whatever, and someone ends up with like an old phone case. I ended it up with a toothpaste, a bar of toothpaste. You say, "Oh, it's just a bar of toothpaste. Who cares?" But when you're trying to, but when you trade a paperclip and you end up with a bar of toothpaste, you're doing something right. You're doing something right. And so I ended up with that. I was super proud. I got all the way through all the interviews, finished all of that, and I started my first shift as a fundraiser. During that time, I was super worried and all that, and I didn't know how hard or easy it was gonna be. But when I started, in like I think it was the first hour, I got my first sign up, and I just didn't know how to gauge and compare whether this was supposed to be easy or hard. And then throughout the day, I got my second sign up, and then I was just like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" Like, and then I was just I finished my first shift, and as I started to work with other people, I realized it's not that easy for other people. Some people are not getting. Some people get zero the whole day. Of course, I had my some weeks where I wasn't doing as well. But what I realized was I could be really good at this if I tried. And the caveat is if I tried. Now, I've been doing a fundraising job for 3 months, but about a month ago I stopped. I was earning $30 an hour, and I thought, hey, you know what? I might be able to do better, or maybe the fundraising isn't what I want to do. So I decided, you know what? Let's do something else. It was the days where I was doing poorly at my fundraising role that I was like, you know what, this job isn't for me. You know, days where you really suck ass. The days where you're like, okay, you know what, I'm on zero today, and the next day I'm on zero. Why am I doing this? You know. So I finished the fundraising role, and I hopped straight into door to door, business to business, and I'll be just knocking on doors. Not really knocking on doors, but going to a business like a manufacturing business, um, uh, manufacturing business, a hairdresser, a restaurant, a warehouse, stuff of that nature, and going over there and trying to convince them of the idea of um, installing a new upgraded hot water system for free. The problem is, it's harder than you think. You think that if you're handing something free, everyone's gonna go, "Yeah, cool, this is free. Yeah, of course I'll do it." But the truth is, most people are skeptical, and most people that didn't know the program or what's going on and how they're upgrading their hot water system for free to save energy and save money on their bill were always skeptical, and they always said, "Oh well, there's scam or the government or what, blah blah blah." I had to get through a lot of gatekeepers. Long story short, I found out that wasn't a job for me just because of the process of it, or maybe it's because I'm scared of doing work. I don't know. I'll be honest. Maybe it's because I don't want to go through all that work. But it's hard. It's hard to think that I'm a lazy person because I've been lazy, but I've also been super hardworking. It's hard to know. It's my idea is no one is truly lazy. No one person is truly lazy. It just depends on circumstances and beliefs and perspective during that time. Because you could see a lazy person who's sitting at home not doing much, but that same person could be super hardworking in a different state, in a different circumstance. So it all depends, really. So then after 3 months, I finished that. Fast forward, I done almost 2 weeks of that door knocking role, and when I received my first paycheck after the first week, and it said $600 something after tax, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little mad, and by little, it probably wasn't a little. If I remember correctly, it was much more. I was I was so mad because I figured out, I got my I checked up on my pay in the middle of my shift while I was walking to different businesses, and I just thought, why am I doing this? What's the point? I had a talk. I ran into someone else that was doing energy work as well as me. He was an older dude, and he was just like, "Well, you get paid $100 for every sale." Bro, you're getting ripped off. I'm getting paid 150, but I want to leave. I want to get, these people are getting paid 500 an hour. It's like blah blah. Not 500 an hour. Sorry, 500 a sale. And I just thought, oh wow, what the hell? I don't like this at all. Like, not only am I don't like the job, but I'm also getting paid shitty. Now, fuck that. So I left. My the manager pulled me aside, and he, one meeting, and he was like, I think, it's uh, you know sooner or later I'm gonna be called in for a meeting. He said, Haas, sooner or later I'm gonna be called in for a meeting, and they're gonna tell me, they're gonna ask me, why is this guy performing so poorly? It could get to the point where they ask, hey, this guy's really a liability, and we're really losing money. We can't afford to have him because we're losing too much money. He's not getting a sale, and we're paying him an hourly rate. And while he was telling me that, and he was like, let's be honest, mate, you gotta show us something. You gotta show us. You gotta do something spectacular in that moment. And I just said, can I be honest with you? And then he looked at me. He's like, yeah, sure. And I could see his body language was like very like stressed. And then I was just like, This job isn't for me. Just isn't. And I could see his body language change. He became more relaxed, became more relieved almost because I think in his mind he was like, oh well, I don't know how this guy's gonna pull it off, and then when he found out he doesn't need to pull it off, he felt more relieved. At least he understands the next step now. The future's clear. I told him, look, it's if I liked this job, I would have worked much harder. But at this point, it doesn't seem like I like this job at all. So that day, I quit. I took off. Um, I took off my. There's like a case that you take with your work case. I gave that. Set that on the table. Gave all my equipment. Came back the next week or two, and I returned my shirt, my uniform. Fast forward to now, I left that job and I've been searching for a job ever since. And I just feel like, I've been drifting away. I don't know what to do. I'll tell you what, one thing about a man that's true is that you're definitely judged on how well you can provide. It's no doubt. You if it like if a, I have a sister, and if she were to sit at the house and not get a job, there would be no problem. But if I sit at the house and I don't get a job and I just sit around playing video games, doing all of this, eating all the food that my parents provide, playing video games, not showering, doing all this, all that would happen is that, people would slowly start to resent me and feel like, you know what? He's the man and he's not helping provide. And so right now I'm in this predicament where even though I don't have a job, I saved up money to give my family, to give my family every week. But without a job, I'm gonna slowly run out. Obviously, I have to find a job, but every time I look for a job, I'm like, okay, so this one I'm not interested in, and this one doesn't pay that much, or this one blah blah blah, and I want to pick the right choice, or this one, I don't want to go back into fundraising or blah blah blah. And I slowly realize that maybe at this point it just doesn't matter. Just find it. Maybe I just need to find a job, just any job, and just start that. Uh, Guys, this is my first video. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know what I'm gonna title this video. I just wanted to let some thoughts off my chest, and maybe someone else is feeling this way. Um, like and subscribe. And if there's any questions you have for me or any stories you have relating to me, please put them down in the comments. Thank you. Peace.